Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
Boom. Let's talk about it. Good morning. So check this out, right? I was thinking about something yesterday, and I was thinking about my life in particular, right? But I know that this can resonate with a lot of people, right? You know, sometimes we lose motivation. We lose the sense of God is hearing us, right? You know, when we pray. So we're praying about some things, or we're praying about a situation. And a lot of times we think that when we don't hear God's voice, he doesn't hear us. When we don't hear God's voice, we think, okay, you know, maybe I'm less than, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, that God's not real, or whatever the case may be, right? That's what we start thinking. But sometimes you're not hearing God's voice because God is busy talking to the problem. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes you're not hearing God's voice because God is speaking to the problem. You see, a lot of us, right, we sit back and, you know, everybody has a talent in this world. Everybody has a talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just you finding out what that talent is. Not everybody has a gift. Everybody has a talent. Not everybody has a gift. And those that are gifted in whatever area that they're gifted in, a lot of times you can't get to that next level because your character, it's because of your character. See, the gift is what God gives you, but your character is your ability to handle it. That's why we have so many different times to where we see someone who's gifted. They're a gifted singer. And because they're a gifted singer, they are put into these places and these things that their character just isn't ready for yet. So they get thrusted into these positions, right? And then the next thing you know, you look down the line, they're on drugs, they're on whatever the case may be, right? Because their character was weak. That's why a lot of us right now, I'm thankful. I was just sitting back and I was thinking, and I was just like, you know what? If I gotten everything that I was praying for before my character was strong enough, I would not be here today. And if I was here today, I would not be in my right mind. Because years ago, I thought that because I had a talent, I thought because I had a gift, I was ready to fulfill all of these dreams and aspirations and goals that I had. But the truth of the matter is my character wasn't ready. So if God had given me everything that I was praying for years ago, I wouldn't be here today. And that's why some people out there they're stuck in the middle. They're stuck in the middle, right? You see, it's kind of like when you're trying to change, you want better for yourself, right? You wake up in the morning and you like, this is the day. This is the day that I'm going to change everything. I got a new mindset, you know, and you generally start out strong. The problem is nothing changes. And nothing changes because nothing changes. How you going to wake up in the morning and say you're going to be, you know what I'm saying, better, but nothing around you has changed? And a lot of times people are scared of change because they're scared of what everybody else is going to think. So you're surrounded by people that do not align with your future, but you're still wondering why there's no change. So it's a ripple effect, right? So you're wondering why there's no change. So the first thing you do is you blame God. Man, I've been praying. Ain't nothing changes. Man, forget all of that. Man, forget all of that. That's why so many people have walked away from the church today. They walked away from the church today because they're messed up walking into the church. You see, a lot of people think that you're going to go to church and you're going to sit and you're going to look at this pastor preaching and everything is just going to change. The pastor is the vehicle for the word, but you got to know the word yourself. This is why so many people get led astray, right? They're looking at a man to tell them, okay, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. He is just the vehicle. You still got to do the work. So you go to church, you feel good. You feel good walking out of church. Man, you know what? Today's going to be a good week. But then you go back into your reality. And for some people, your reality is your home. Think about it. If in your home, you're the only one that's saying that you want to change, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And a lot of people, right? A lot of people are so worried about what everybody else is thinking of them that even when they start to change, they go back and check up on everybody else, right? So then when you go back and check up on everybody else, all of those same people is looking at you and be like, man, you different, man. Man, just that and other. Now you're starting to feel bad because the same people are saying that you're different. What you should be doing is looking at it like, okay, they're seeing the change in me and taking that as a positive to keep moving forward. But what you do is you start going back. Nothing is going to change if nothing's going to change. And a lot of times people want to take the easy way out. They want to pray for 5 days and think on that 6th day, they're going to wake up and everything is going to change. It's not. It's not. Your character. And in that in-between time, that's when God is trying to build your character. That's why, like sometimes when I got some free time, I like to look at posts, right? And for some people's posts, you can look at the posts and you can very well tell what they're going through, who they talking about, this, that, and other, because it's the same secular thing. It's the same thing, right? When it's up, it's up. But when it's down, it's down. See, when it's up, oh man, God is so good and this, that, and other. But when it's down, don't nobody, care about me and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. It's because nothing has changed. And that's what I want to get across today, right? If you're the type of person who finds yourself in that in-between time, you want change, you want, this, that, and the other, you feel like you have something that you want to do, you got these goals and aspirations, right? But your character ain't ready for that next stage. And your character ain't ready from that next stage because you can't break away from the very thing that's holding you down. You see, a lot of times people think and they look and they say like all these old movies, like the devil is in red. The devil looks like this creature. No, sometimes the devil can be that very thing that makes you tingle. Sometimes the devil is the same thing that you turning over to. Sometimes the devil is that when you pick up the phone and you like, man, such and such and such and such, and they on the other line like, yeah, I know this, that, and other. The devil comes in many shapes and forms. And a lot of times you ain't even going to know it. Think about that. A lot of times you're not going to know it. So your character isn't ready for the next level. If you really want change, something has to change. You have to be able to look at your circumstance. You have to be able to look at your situation and be like, okay, in order for me to get to this next level, I got to let this go. I'm going to be talked about. People are going to say this, that, and the other, right? But the only reason why you care about what everybody else is saying is because you still tapped into what everybody else is saying. I'm at the point in my life, I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I know about the talk about me. I hear the chatter. But where I'm at in my life right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I can't go backwards to get on your level to get with you. Because if I go backwards, then I've lost. That's why a lot of people always want to, when they see you doing good and they see you progressing, that's when the lies start, right? They start lying on you just to make themselves feel better. And it's nothing like just one person lying on you. No, they got to tell the next person, they got to do this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 right? Because there's strength in numbers. But what you have to understand is it doesn't matter. It does not matter. If you want change, you can't keep revisiting the old you. That's why when people say, new year, new me, this going to be the new me, it's not about nothing being the new you. It's about you finally understanding what God sees in you. See, a new you just might be a different version of the old you. What you have to understand is it's not a new you. It's finally seeing how God views you. Anyways, man, I'm going to get up out your space, man. I thank y'all. And I'm going to start doing longer ones, but I'm just going to put it on, YouTube or this, that, and other because, TikTok, whatever, 10 minutes. But anyways, man, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.